Normally smart people of Reddit, what is the dumbest thing you've ever done? Once searched high and low all over the house for like 25 minutes for a certain pair of shorts that I just could not fucking find. Had them on. Taken the bus home, 45 minutes ride. Then get home and think my car is stolen for a second before I realize I in fact drove to work. The sad thing is I've done it more than once. More than twice even frown. Okay, so several years ago I worked in a craft store. When we were going through the aisles cleaning up, we were supposed to grab any damaged items and put them in a specific bin. At the end of the night, the manager would kind of quickly go through it just to make sure everything in there was in fact damaged. The one night she's digging through it and pulls out a wooden E. "Who put this in here?" she asked. I said I did. She asked why. I told her, it's supposed to be an E but it's missing one of the prongs. My manager stared at me for a few moments before informing that it was in fact an F. Not a long story, had a lapse in judgment and decided to clean the end of my razor with my finger by swiping across it. You know the rest. I was once eating delicious table grapes and asked my wife and her friends, why haven't they made booze out of these? I thought I had invented wine, and we drink a lot of wine. They were kind of shocked and still tease me about it. Took a quick break at work and went to get a drink. Stupid brain went on autopilot and I drove home, not that far, walked in, took off work shirt, plopped on couch, turned on TV, wondered where my girlfriend was cause she's usually home when I get off work, looked up at clock, realized I had 3 hours left on shift. Cursed a bunch, got up, put shirt back on, grabbed soda, and went back to work. I was at the zoo buying a fountain pop from the cafe when the staff didn't give me a straw. I asked for one and he said that they do not give out straws due to the free roaming animals on the zoo ground. I asked, how am I supposed to drink this without breaking eye contact? He took the drink and removed the plastic lid. Tried to take a screenshot of a crack on my phone screen. I thought that all rocks became magnetic underwater, because when I dropped them under the surface, they would fall onto the bigger rock floor, as if they were being pulled magnetically. Took me a good 3 hours to realize gravity existed. Not my proudest moment. Poured coffee grounds into the water reservoir of the coffee maker. Not sure if this counts. Up until my freshman year of college, I thought that red plus green equals purple. Boy did I feel like shite when I discovered this in my chemistry class by arguing with a textbook, a chemist, and a classroom full of people. I was watching television and was completely in awe when I said, the steering wheel on that car goes all the way around. I honestly don't know what I was thinking at the time or why it fascinated me so much. I used to work at a tea store. At the end of the day, we had to fill a big sink in the back room and wash out all the tea makers we used during the day, plus the Fetco, sampler jugs, etc. So, I turned on the sink to fill, then went about some other duties, as per usual. Half an hour later, a cold feeling of dread hits me as I realize I forgot about the fucking sink. Flooded the back room. Took me an hour to clean up. At least I'm not the only person who has done that. Spent almost an hour searching my house for my phone. While on the phone with my mom, she heard me getting frustrated and throwing things around and asked what's wrong? And I replied, real pissed off, I can't find my phone anywhere. I have been looking for it the whole time I have been talking to you. Oh, shit. Removed. Try to get toast out of a toaster with a fork. I put a cup of water in the microwave but the cup was too tall so I poured some water out and put the cup back in thinking it would fit. Forget a page on a test. I was on the phone with my boss. He was asking me if I was at work yet. I said no, I wasn't. He asked me why not. I said I couldn't find my phone. He said, Sting, do me a favor, look at your hand. I go, I'm looking for my phone. He said, Sting, shut the fuck up and look at your hand. So I look at my hand, it's empty. He goes, no you dumb shit, look at your another hand. So I then looked at my hand that was holding my phone and I said I found my phone and he said, yay no shit, now get the fuck to work. When I was in 3rd grade, this kid told me if you make a circle around your chin with your thumb and pointer finger, basically choke/cut off the circulation, and hold it for 30 seconds, then give your chin a firm thump, you will get a bruise pretty quickly. I did it anyway and then told a bunch of other people in the class and they did it too. We all had huge bruises on our chins in no time. I didn't realize that I could put 2 extension cables together to make it reach a further distance when I was working on site. Felt a right knob. I was curious to read an article with a paywall on Wall Street Journal that talked about PewDiePie being a racist or some shit, and signed up for a free trial thinking I would be fancy and read Wall Street Journal for a month. I might even become one of those droll motherfuckers who starts talking about informative articles I read in the journal or whatever. Naturally, I would cancel my membership before the end of the month. Well, I never read another article during that month, and went 6 months before I remembered to cancel my membership. So essentially, I paid $200 to read one article about how a YouTuber I'd never even watched a video of before said some dumb shit this one time. I was making breakfast one morning and came across a particularly sturdy egg. Kept trying to crack it on the side of the pan and it wouldn't break. Started hitting it against the counter with increasing force until it straight up exploded in my hand. I don't know how I didn't see that coming. When I was a kid, maybe around 12 or so, I wondered what it was like to smoke. My parents were smokers and often had me roll their cigarette for them. Grew up in the 80s where smoking around your kids and all that other dangerous stuff was acceptable. So I had convinced an equally stupid friend that we should go roll a cigarette and smoke it while my parents weren't home. We get the cigarette tubes out and the roller but couldn't find the tobacco. Well, we were intent to smoke that day, so what was the next best thing? Catnip. Awesome idea. Somehow I felt like even more of a rebel. We rolled the catnip up in a cigarette tube and headed outside with it. I had a trampoline in my backyard, so we get up on it figuring this is the best place to light this thing and give it a try. So with catnip smoke in my mouth, I light the thing and poof. The whole thing was so dry it burnt straight down to my lip in a big flash and sizzled and crackled and almost burned my eyebrows off, and the sparks and ashes fell onto the trampoline and burnt a big old hole right through the middle. So for the longest time after that, whenever my parents were mowing the lawn or out in the yard, I would run out there just to make sure I could be on the trampoline to ensure I could cover the hole so they never saw it.